a singular point, then they will technically be in the top 4. However, Na'Vi will still play. Thus, what we came up with is that Na'Vi needs to match or better the result that Vitality put up here today. That is not in round count, that is only in the eventual point. So if Vitality gets 3 points, Na'Vi need 3 themselves. If Vitality get 2, then Na'Vi need 2 or more. And if Vitality get just a singular point, then Na'Vi needs to do the same or better. 0 points, however, for Vitality. That means that Secret will be taking this in 12 rounds. Basically eliminates them from the Mexico Major. It locks them into the 5th place, grants them 225 SI points, but denies them the trip to Mexico, which then automatically, those flight tickets will be handed over to Natas Vincere. So that is on the line here today. Those are 2 games you must watch with the Classico in between. And we're about to start with the first one. Vitality against Team Secret.
Yeah, so gist, moral of the story, Natas Vincere fans out there, you're hoping Secret take a clean 3. Anything other than that, and there's still a chance it gets slimmer and slimmer. Obviously, Vitality want that clean 3 themselves to mean that the only result that can happen in the BDS game later on is a Na'Vi full 3 to get them there. But at the minute, the pressure, it sort of rests on Secret's shoulders. Secret have a part to play in this story. They have a bit of diction for them to do themselves. And it opens with their defense master bedroom. The sort of the clash to the pulse is baiting a slightly different play. It's going to obviously herald the chance of more of a hold, potentially all the way down in the garage, maybe, but most likely around in the kitchen underneath, which to be fair, often gets pushed anyway.
So Secret still has something to play for. For those of you that don't really know, there is also SI points to be gained for the positions 5 to 8. And Secret currently finds themselves in that 8th place. They're not going to be able to lose that, but they can do better if they manage to get a win here today. They could potentially knock off Gavana off that 7th place, which would be more than welcome for them. Just granting them, I believe, a total of 25 extra SI points compared to what they would have now, which is 115. But besides that, they're also a team that is struggling for potential relegation, and every single point that you will be able to pick up this stage is going to be so helpful throughout the end, because they're currently in 9th place at 15 points, only 2 behind on Rogue. Thus there is a lot to play for. For Vitality, it's on the short run. For Secret, it is for the long run, for their sustainability of the European League for 2022. However, it is going to be Vitality on the attack, as you just said. And they're starting to enter. It's going to be the E1D that guides the line in. It's B4 with the 417 to come around the corner. And it's the entry onto Sleben. Quickly taken care of, but with that, a quick entry and a quick man advantage here for Vitality.
Yeah, they entirely knew what they wanted to try and do there. The pressure was on instantly. It isolates Hyph, puts him in a bit of a tricky situation. He's not going to try and battle back. They went for a longer extension. They went for a longer play here. I said that you're likely to see the pulse underneath, but that's an expected push anyway. A lot of teams will pay a bit of attention there because of the threat of C4s, because of how a lot of pocket plants seem to come together. The hop over to remove those frost mats is going to give them all the pace that they need. Vitality have that initiative, they have that oomph, and this is a good map for them, a good place where they can really try and drive themselves further and further forward. Hot droned across the top as Hyph goes deeper. In fact, goes for a bit of a roam underneath, could try and strike back up on the backside of Fireplace to cause some problems, but with a minute 30 still left, they've got a lot of time still.
So for Vitality, really cutting in the map in multiple different sections, and quite effectively so, as well as all 3 Frostmats, I believe, have been taken care of, at least 2 of them. Also managed to get the kill, and okay, there was 1 left in the bathroom. At least 2 of them got taken out, and that means there's 1 left. The opening in the box in the meantime is attempted, but there's going to be a Mew Jammer there that needs to be taken care of. Now, there's multiple ways to do that, but it's probably going to be B-Boot to run into Fireplace. Just use a quick impact to destroy the Mew Jammer, and after that, the breaches will start happening. And that means that Packbull is now basically stuck.
Yeah, he looks like he wants to swing just onto the balcony there, but he doesn't quite get the gift of a reward of somebody being very bold and brash. With a minute on, they're still steadily putting that pressure here across Piano. As I said, you only really need to clear a cubby of space to try and get this plant down. They're making sure that they can't swing in from underneath, and Cactus is making sure they can't do much from above as well. Gets the take right inside the heart of the site itself. This backline of Secret is being pushed further and further towards Solarium, and Rise, well, he's holding off. He's able to try and swing around a miss throw on that grenade. He Hope to get a pick up there, but it forces him off to an uncomfortable angle. But look at that. Flores working his way all the way steadily across underneath. Shinka is going towards the backside of the solarium stairs. The pressure comes from Piano either side. He might not even get there in time to get this final fight as Cactus goes for the stick and the plant on the far side. 20 seconds. They have a room for mistake, but Keenan has an ace to pick up. Gets the first two, but now finds himself in this post-plant situation.
Good shot there on P4. Finds him in that 1v3. Just a little amount of HP left, but 3 different angles to cover. He's not going to be able to succeed in that, and Cactus is going to be able to secure that first round of Vitality, the first of the 7 that they are really looking to get in these next, well, 11 rounds that are left, to make sure that they put themselves in the best possible opportunity, because Na'Vi plays BDS later on. It's a matchup within that top 4, and BDS could be really helpful here for the French comrades, or French amis.
Wow, you've been learning the language.
I've been learning the language here.
Just like Des and Tim. They're so studied.
At least I know that cookie tra chocolat.
Are we still on this?
Cookies with treats.
How many weeks ago was that?
I have no clue, but it's just...
It was a while ago.
It was just so funny to me how how that came through. Either way.
Maybe that's why he's learning, so he doesn't ever embarrass himself like that again. Either way, we're on the top now. We have a bit of an extension around the opposite side. They've gone with a different sight. They're going to try holding above the bar instead. But in a weird way, I mean, it's what we sort of talk about on this map, is you still have to have a bit of an extension and a bit of a reach here. They'll dig themselves in more around the top of the staircase. They'll give themselves a little bit more solidity. They were very wide. That early pick, you know, there wasn't any structure to where that player was at that time. I'm not sure if they just got caught out or they intended to fall back a little bit further, but either way, it was a very easy pick for them.
We just said Rise had a bit of a potato that round. First of all, like, you know, okay, so he couldn't win the gunfight straight on the poles, then accidentally missed through the grenade as he saw a player in the rotation, so I wanted to do it quickly.
Who else but Rise, though, from that?
Yeah, but it's okay. You know, he managed to hold up the angle, and that is basically what he needed to do, so I'm sure he's going to be fragging out right after now. Is P4 ready with that 417? It's a giant rifle, does 72 damage per shot, so just 2 to the body will be enough to go for the kill. The grenade comes in, and Pakpo will be forced to drop. That is surely going to be followed up right after with actual players just jumping through these windows to try and put some pressure down.
Doesn't want to lose his life for the engagement. It's fair enough. There wasn't really anything in that situation to catch or get a hold on those grenades as they popped around. But it's 2 bits of utility that have been removed from the pockets of the Iana there. They've still got to try and get the clarity inside the site itself. And with the extension, as I said, you've got those bodies over the top of the gangplank and the rafters. You have those on the top of the staircase as well. And they have structure. You can't just jump in and get that hot kill as you were able to do so quickly before. It was a bit of, as I said, probably a mispositioning that came through, and they didn't expect the punishment that quick. Here, though, the Flores, they went for a very long drive, a very long journey. It looks like they've been able to get 1 shield already, but with 2 more drones in. First body.
Yeah, there we go. Cactus is going to be going in, and I was going to say this push relies onto the control that is inside the library. It's not there. They have no clue that the plant's going down. The E1D covered it perfectly, and we're in a post-plant position. By the moment they managed to drop Pack Bull from library, that plant was able to start coming up, but now they need to go for a heavy retake. The E1D pops out yet another time, and that will stop them dead in their tracks. Hive needs to move in, but there's still going to be the line just round around the corner, and Keenan tries to go for a jump up, but instantly punished. Just slapping with a beautiful kill, but they need to get more. There's only 13 seconds left on the clock, and there's just the, men on the diffuser still. They need to go for the defuse now. There is no time.
Well, it looks like they're going to see if they can offer any semblance of cover, but it's Rise from the window and Bibu from the bar that locks off Vitality. And as you said, the E1D covered the movement. They're able to get in and get the diffuser down or start the process, but you still would sort of look at what you had, what you were holding, and where all your information was, and you would, I guess, try and piece together, okay, well, they can just slip through.
Yeah, but the whole thing here is as well, so we have a timeout from Secret to be called, which is, I would say, okay, given the fact how these rounds win. Library is a very important contest point. It's often that people are stuck there until their very last breath, and Packbull, well, he dropped, and that's okay. He wanted to save his life. However, they didn't really have the information to know if a plant was going down, and no one was trying to retake the library. Instead, we had 3 people on the armory stairs. So what Vitality just did, E1D, Cactus gets the kill onto the man on site, and after that, you just go for a plant to the default corner. Nothing they can do about it.
It was a standard take. It was a standard push, and it was a lot of time still left on the clock. There was a lot of a sort of bastion of a hold on the staircase, as I talked about. They could have reinforced a little bit more. They could have tried to bite back, but they sort of trusted that Vitality wouldn't be as sharp as they are. But this is Vitality. This is a team, sure, they're not in boot camp anymore, but they're still so swift when they see an opportunity. And that sort of disjointedness, that lack of, I'm going to say, pace and fire led to them being able to just slip through.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick pressure, and I just want to say that Vitality, their clearing game has been really good this game so far. I know it's only been 2 rounds, but the first one I managed to instantly get that kill, cut them across, force them to rotate out, and you know, continue to push on like that. Get a very convincing win again with a plant. Second one as well. They force out the player inside of the bathroom. Cactus manages to get the kill onto the player that was playing close in the pantry, and follows it up with a plant right after. That is 2 plants in 2 rounds, and Vitality are still on the attack. Secret really needs to find something here that will be helpful for them. The change that they are bringing seem to be going to a clash for a little bit, but got 6 picked out to a bandit, and that means we have 3 operators that are solely purposed to make sure that the walls get denied. We have a mute, we have a Cade, and we have a bandit. Vitality, let's see how they're going to be playing around this, or if they're going to be completely deciding to go against the whole idea of opening up these walls.
They're still happy to apply their pace so quickly here across the top of the solarium stairs. They're looking towards the bathroom. They're looking towards, again, pinching a player, putting them in an uncomfortable situation and punishing them for it. It is a side of getting control of the vertical, and Keenan is going to be that first ballast here, but he's going to make sure again that he doesn't suffer the pace that Vitality are known to be able to apply here. Vitality, they're taking their time. They know that they've just come off the back of a team talk. Theoretically, this is the strongest that Secret might be, because it's their moment to have this conversation, try and reassess, try and reevaluate, and redeploy how you're approaching this game.
Definitely so. It's their strongest point now, and if they manage to get into a momentum, so you really don't want to have both of those chain up after one another. And it's Vitality that is already inside the bathroom now, pushing through. Rise is about to come up to the piano. There's going to be a shield on top of that, but of course there's players around it, which is more important. The question is, are Secret aware of the fact that Rise is in this far already and has the opportunity to take a fight with 2 of these players?
Sprays, but nobody has actually caught as of yet. They're able to keep themselves at a bit of arm's distance, keep themselves with a bit of range here. Packball has some swing, some chaos that they can try and apply back, but this is just giving Vitality enough space for them to start their work. But Secret are most importantly making sure that they're aware of where this work is being done. They're going to not suffer the same mistake and problem they suffered before. The E1D yet again covers a little bit of movement, but they haven't quite got the solidity of their entrance here, so the Flores drone is going to start making its way in to remove potentially anything that's underneath the window. They can't see any utility, so instead it goes on the wall, gives them that angle.
We'll be opening up that angle, check that there was going to be a Frostmat as Bibu is going on a hunt for the bottom floor. In the meantime, though, we saw Hive running for a rotate. It's going to be the entry kill for Slevin this time. Secret will be able to start this off strong as Packball will follow it up as well.
Well, the spray's all the way from the table on the far side. They went for a bit of an alternate take here as to what you'd normally see, and so far they haven't quite been able to get it. The control of Fireplace has gone against them, and well, that means Sleben can just sort of dig in. He's feasting on that table. Gets 3, Gomfy locks it off, and well, that's the perfect result you want after not only a team talk, but a pretty disastrous opening pair of rounds. This time they were fully aware of where Vitality were.
Definitely so. Managed to rotate out in time here, and I think that is the important part, because we had 3 people playing up on that top floor, and even though all 3 of them were using, you know, breach denial, also information denial operators, they fell back in time. They didn't take the fights when they didn't need to. They stayed alive and let Vitality waste time, and as a result, it was a 5-on-5 final 40 seconds. Often favors the defense in that case, because the attackers do need to get that defuser down in that case, and that point in the round. And now we're heading to the master bedroom office. It's going to be the top floor. We see the clash that is being brought out as well. And then the question will be, where will it be played? Are we going to see that around piano, just challenging the double door, or will it be around the office, maybe challenging up onto the balcony, hoping to slow them down? And then the answer, of course, how will Vitality deal with it? Because if you look at the operators they have available, well, you could basically only use the Zofia stuns to try and stagger the shield and make sure that you take him out. Or, of course, find an angle through one of these windows. Hope Hackbull gets caught off guard, but that is something that doesn't happen often.
Now, obviously, the way that the Clash is playing, it gives them, I guess, a bit more of a cursory idea of how to stop the approach. Something that has stumped them on the early 2 rounds, the 2 that went away from them. They couldn't quite get a handle, and this plays against that. This gives them that intel, that precious information that otherwise seemed a little bit in a different language, potentially French, which they couldn't quite get the handle and the read on.
Definitely so. We need to get some help from Miloshin or something. Try and get the translations up. Shinka opening up a bit of a rotation into the snowmobile garage, and of course Rice following the output of the drone, seeing if it's going to be clear. Sleben, however, is playing quite near. Default cam has been taken care of. I'm not sure if the drone is checking the direct corner Sleben is playing, so that means he might go unnoticed on that bottom floor for now. P4 already very deep up on Fireplace. Packbull well aware. Of course, looking to try and go for a challenge, but needs to make sure that he's not overstaying his welcome. He's not overstepping the boundaries because, well, just one well-placed concussion of the lifeline and, you know, 2 quick shots, or maybe 3 from the M417, and his life is over.
With the Na'Vi charm as well. He knows what he's playing for right now. He knows the potential that he can bring to some of the rest of these games here, and as we said, they're all well aware of the weight and the cost of the potential of those points. Rise, though, gets that opener. P4 almost catches the flight and the flay of one of the players, but they slip away. They get just past it, at least. Packbull still in this situation. He doesn't, you know, he's not suffering a huge amount of danger, but as you said, the pace, if it gets applied, if this stun hits, there's going to be a couple of Vitality guns able to swing on him.
So they're going to go for the opening onto the box instead. You see the rotation below from Bibu. He will be taking care of that mute jammer with just a simple impact, which also will do some damage down onto the Clash. No, not even. Allowed to fall back freely and go back towards the hallway, the library hallway. Hoping to potentially put up some pressure there. Slow down the attackers as they hopefully try to move into piano as well. Now, Vitality are left with limited opportunities. They have balcony control, they have the opportunity to enter from the box, but besides that, there's going to be this annoying Clash that is constantly being tossed or annoyed with utility being tossed at it, but there's nothing really they can do.
That's it. It gives them a sort of line to work behind. Gomfi is just out of sight and out of mind of that drone. Just sort of playing on the side. Not going to kill it, because they're sort of utilizing it as this, maybe there's something going on. But look at Shinka again. I talked about this before, but by the time that they'd got to their rotation position, the killing had already happened. They're trying to draw some focus away. They're trying to put the pressure on elsewhere and sort of cut this angle. The canister pops on the default plant spot with only 30 seconds left, and 2 more of those. You assume Keenan's going to be able to do it, and you expect a deep dive here from Vitality all the way to the line between the 2 sites itself. Another one goes off, the E1D, and it's a trade elsewhere. Shinka on the backside gets Keenan and puts some pressure in onto the plant spot as well, though the smoke canisters are gone. 2 versus 3. Still a confrontation over across the board, but in the missing smoke, they're able to get one down. It's Secret! Across the board, win the fight, tied for the double, and Gomfi with 1 other.
Rice missed a very potent shot there. Now it's going to be the clutch from Secret to come through. They managed to get the diffuser down, even though the amount of utility that was left, the nitro from below, the smoke canisters to pop in, the CCE shield, just slowing them all down whilst the flank was on its way coming up from the library side. Diffuser still went down. Unfortunately, though, the 2v2 post-plant to the 2v3 quickly turn into a 2v0 in Secret's favor. And now we're all equaled up again. It's 2-2. Anybody's game still to play for. No one really walking away with it yet. Vitality, well, they really want to make sure that they get at least another round in, maybe even 2. Given the fact that they need to win in regulation to put themselves up in the best possible spot. Of course, I'm going to mention it again.
Keep mentioning it.
They are currently 1 point behind on Na'Vi. 1 point behind on the team that is about to go to Mexico. 1 point. And they have the head-to-head.
Head-to-head. Sorry, I'm just setting emphasis.
No worries. You do, keep the echo up.
Head-to-head.
Exactly.
It's like ASMR.
And if Vitality manage to get 3 points, then Na'Vi need to match that. Na'Vi need to match or better their results to go and stay in Mexico, whereas Vitality, well, they just need to hope that BDS is going to be giving them a bit of aid here today. But they do need to get at least a single point to have an opportunity at it.
Na'Vi. Okay.
Was that the summary, Na'Vi?
That's it. It's pressure. These are the games of the pressure. This is what we all sort of expected. Sure, there's other great games that are going on, but the focus is on this. And then after, in 2 games' time, where we get to really find out the final team from the region on the way through. Hey, run, man, run. Bibu's there. Bibu's not too far away. They've still got the E1Ds, and they're very quick to use them. If they get a scent, Vitality tries to get a full bite out of whatever player has got themselves a little bit loose and a little bit isolated. Look at this. Vitality, they're driving themselves in a slightly different approach here. They probably expected that quick place plant that they did before not to quite work the same way, so instead, they have Shinka on that back angle.
Gonna do the exact same thing again. They want to clear the library. Make sure it's going to be clear. Keenan, however, playing near the door. That is going to be a bit of a danger zone. That is one they need to take care of. The rest of the library, under control. There is, however, still a player, I believe, around Pentry. That is Packbull playing on that Frost. Can almost make sure that there is going to be Frost mats underneath the windows. He takes care of one of these Claymores. Everything is attempted to be set up to deny another quick plan to go through. As the library, again, is of big importance of Vitality.
Well, they're going to start seeing if they can roll the drones in, get an idea of the back line, drop the Frost mat as well, anything that might be in a position to catch on that corner. Packbull is the hold. The Frost is about to be droned out around the backside. That's Bibu giving a hot ping. They know exactly where he is. There's also a drone just above the hatch that hopped down. They're going to see if they can apply the pressure from the backside, but Bibu suffers with the hold from Keenan above. Packbull strikes at the same time, does a bit of disruption here, and look at this. They're leaning their way in. The upside down rappel gets a bit of a bait back, can't quite lock it off. They're still sort of drifting in the ether. Rise was able to slip by without actually losing any blood, but a minute on, it's a 2 versus 4 situation. They realized they couldn't quite blunt force their way through the same way that they did before. They lost an engagement elsewhere. I said they'd put some focus towards the fireplace, but so had Secret.
So had Secret for sure. Secret read in perfectly into the push that happened before, and Hive now in an important gunfight, losing it out. Rice this time able to close it out, a 3v2. Still to play for Secret. They have the man advantage, they have the time in their favor as well, and they know that both these players will be pushing in from the corridor. Around the 90 area now, have the opportunity to come around the pre-fires from the top of the library stairs. Not quite hitting yet. A grenade will be tossed in, and it's not actually going to pick up the kill there. Brings it back to a 2-on-2. One is still on the top. They spot the head, but it's the lineup. Sleben picks up the kills, as I believe that was Shinka ran in front of Rise. That was Rise in front of Shinka, who was about to line up the shot, about to take care of the Mozzie. And a bit too quick there for the side of Vitality. They could have clutched it out if they took it a little bit slower. But as you see now, onto that live ranking, it is Secret to move up into 7th for now, and Vitality to stay locked into 5th. So they need to make sure that they're getting a move on. They need to get a singular point at least. And for that, they need an overtime.
Wow, what a team talk that's turned out to be for the Guns of Secret. They've really been able to reinvigorate themselves into this. One of them sort of came down with the clutch and the plant and the retake, but either way, the most important change that we're getting a taste of here is Secret are responsive. They're paying attention to the way Vitality are approaching the map. They're paying attention to the way Vitality are looking at the problems put before them, and most importantly, they're making sure that they don't have comfort. Before, some of the times the openings would sort of go unpunished. They wouldn't re-rotate and try and put the pressure back in. They didn't try and respond to Vitality, hoping and expecting a bit more of a, well, pay attention to what we're doing. Vitality weren't about that. They're about playing their own game, pushing their own way, and it's a lesson Secret learned the hard way twice, but then brought the hardware to stop it happening thrice.
Definitely so. Let's see if they can get it. Can do it a 4th time. I don't know if there's another fancy word for that. Seem to be struggling a lot with 4.
4 is like,
ordinary.
it's because it's like...
It never happens.
4 just like changes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything changes.
It's once, twice, thrice, twice.
Twice.
That's not...
I'm gonna go twice.
Twice. We're gonna have people correcting us on Twitter again. The E1D rumbles. Nothing's caught, but look at the pings here on the body on the bottom of the stairs. They're going to see if they can punish them. Look at this, though. Quicker movement from Hive slips away before they can actually get themselves dropped. This time, first time round, he was already dead. Again, lessons learned. Quicker responses. They realize just a little bit more about this Vitality game, and they know how to respond to it, too.
They definitely do. Staying more mobile really helps them in making sure they're not being caught off by the quick movements and the quick basically entries Vitality mix, because they're able to get into the building quite quickly. They're able to guard off a lot of the ground quickly. However, Secret in these last couple of rounds have not been giving them the advantage as frequently as they might have wanted. And now there is going to be the Electroclaw that stopped any of the other Selmas to explode and create a further opening. It's really going to be keeping Vitality at bay. They need to make sure that they deny that Electroclaw, but then still there is Sleben playing from below, having the opportunity to use yet another one to stop these Selmas from blowing up.
Well, there's Schenker driving it just to the door, I think. Yeah, get jammed before it could pop it. It looked like it was getting closer and closer, or it... No, it must have got shot then. Didn't quite hear it. I'm assuming Keenan had the angle on it and took care of it. Oh, it's jammed. I don't
see where it is.
I don't see where it is.
It was a jammer for sure, so it got jammed, probably got shot right after, anything like that. The Selmas, however, are going off, and they have been used on the bottom floor, on the actual site, because there is no Electroclaw in time now to stop this approach from happening. But the most important part is that there needs to be box control. If there is no box control, the verticals will stop any planned attempt from happening. And even then, you still need to deal with the players that are actually down onto that bottom floor, able to potentially toss in nitros or smokes. Of course, smoke not on the board for now, but you know what I mean.
Well, Bibu's the first to go down, Sleben with the back line. I talked about this as the standard take for this site as before, and, well, we saw the reverse of it. It didn't quite work out, and Vitality, unfortunately, have opened themselves up with a bit of a similar sort of conundrum here as the spray came through against them over the top of the table from the far side. They're picking up sticks, going for a rotation and learning some lessons on the second story. Rise is able to get one more. Hive is still on a bit of a walkabout. Where will he pop up? On the back line of the site itself. They're going to see if they can sneak a plant inside just on the hold. Packball's trying to rebuff them, but it's Sleben with the cover, and there it is. Sleben with one more, a triple yet again. He is a masterful chef inside this kitchen. If what you're cooking up is a storm in Vitality's blood. Hive with one more finally finds his way back up, and Hive with the second to give them their fourth.
Hive able to pick up these 2 kills, of course, crucial, because otherwise there would have been the opportunity to go for the plant, which now has been denied. And with that, it is Team Secret that on their defense managed to pick up 4 rounds out of 6 after they have lost the first initial 2. And you see them cheering as well. You saw them throwing up their fists like, come on, guys, we got this. We can pick up these points and we can fight for our spot in EUL 2022, because that is technically what Secret could be playing for here. They don't know it yet, or probably they will know it, but of course we all don't know it yet if this game would be the difference maker in the end, but it could just as well be. Whereas Vitality, of course, for the short term, is looking to qualify for the 6th major in Mexico. The first game back at home, everybody back at home, not in Stade de France. They started off so strong, but the Team Talker Secret really seemed to be helping them here. And now, Na'Vi, well, they are looking at Secret. They're cheering them on as well, because they have the opportunity to secure the spot for Na'Vi into the 6th major by taking the full 3 points. That means that Na'Vi would not have to perform against BDS in that case.
It definitely would take the pressure.
it takes a lot of the pressure off. The more points Secret manages to sneak away, the less pressure Na'Vi will have.
Yeah. Which, you know, on the final play day, and the final sort of hurrah, that's it. BDS as well, worth noting, they're in boot camp.
They are actually in Switzerland, indeed. Was it Geneva? I think it's Geneva.
I don't know. I just remember seeing Eagle Mises' meme, where it's all the French flags and then
the Dutch one.
The Dutch one.
You ever seen
like
that
French flag on the side?
Have you ever seen that meme where they're selling pillows and like French pillow like 10 euros and then Dutch pillow 5 euros, but it's literally the same one just on the side?
No, but I can entirely imagine that meme. That Eagle Mies. But that's a danger that maybe Na'Vi might not have to face so ferociously. There's still a lot of rounds left in. And now we've got to see the flip turn of this. Vitality still have their timeout as well. If rounds start to slip away from them, they can try and get a response here. Sleben's firing up, but just for the cam. But obviously Bibu he's holding the angle. He's on this sort of crux, waiting for somebody to try and make a bit of a slithered entrance. They're seeing if they can weigh everything up as Gomfi is the first to sort of deep dive his way through onto the bar, finds a bit of an angle, but as we talked about, this is a site where you do need to pay attention to the second story, else you'll just find yourself running into a bit of a firing line.
the second story at least already in control of Secret. They have the full library under their command, the hallway of library as well, and that means they're going to be expanding now, looking inside of the piano, using these little small angles that have been created by previous gunfire, whilst rotations will be made inside the box. That gives them the opportunity to push in from multiple angles. Keenan takes a little bit of damage, not quite sure from where, as Hive is the first one to fall.
Yeah, BB with the spray over the top. You're looking at your Zoth gone. She was steadily trying to make her way over towards the backside of Solarium too, so you still know that you have a big presence on that big firefight over the top of box. You'll get an idea of the amount of bodies that are there, but the inability to truly and cleanly open that wall might be something that ends up costing them just a little. That's all the Selma's used at this point. So they're going to see if they can otherwise put a bit more pressure here above, because they got to make do with what they've got right now. There's still this backline, still this danger, and still this potential of a swing to come round. They're just trying to get some clarity. With less than a minute open, they've got to see if they can find a body and at least put themselves into an even balance.
Comfy trying to push through, sneaking all the way in, is inside the master bedroom, about to swing around the corner in the bathroom door. Sleben about to help as well. It's going to be a team kill of Shinka, who picks up Keenan, and now Comfy is going to be able to respond as well. So 3-on-3, the diffuser is inside of Trophy, or at least at the wall, and is going to be having the opportunity of just jumping in any second now.
The second moment where an accidental moment has caused a bit of a damage, a bit of team kill there, but with 20 seconds left, you still have this backline of very experienced solid hands in the guns of Vitality. Bibu is the first to almost strike, but gets locked out by Gomfi. 10 seconds, and there's still one more body left. P4 can't quite connect it, and Secret get their first attack.
Managed to steal the round here. Vitality should have been in control, but they were a bit too greedy, taking too many of these gunfights. Bibu the first to fall. Right after it was, of course, going to be, I believe that was Cactus on the Maestro. That was picked up, and attempt was made by the Mozzie, but just not enough. Now Vitality are trailing even more. It's 5-2. That should have been a round for them. That should have been a way back into the game. But we're not getting it yet, and that means it's 5-2. That means that, well, Secret is just a single round away of making life a little bit easier for Na'Vi, and potentially 2 away of qualifying them for the 6th major. Of course, that hope is long lost for themselves. They are, I'm going to mention it again, fighting to stay out of relegations at the end of Stage 3. This would be a very good start.
It's this game, it's this season, it's this split, and it's these teams. You never really know how things are going to go. You can tell that there's this, I guess, a bit of nerves, a bit of caution coming from Vitality. The spray through, hitting a teammate. We've seen them accidentally stack up on each other as well. There's these couple of moments where these disconnects on other play days might not weigh so heavily, but here, when they know that their fate is in their hands entirely, at this point, they have to try and drive some distance in. They're not having the timeout yet. They are potentially going to see if they can do a little bit more on their sights, on their defense, try and get a little bit of ground before they have to use it, and they might not full stop, but you assume at some point they'll try and have a conversation unless they really start to get some momentum, but otherwise, Secret just got in, got sharp, got a little bit lucky with the team kill, and just got the control they needed.
Of course it helps, and helps a lot. You take out one more player that you really didn't have to go for a gunfight with, and theoretically you trade it because you lost one in that same gunfight. It's just that a teammate of the enemy team was picked up as a result as well. And now Hive, using that second impact, is going to be making it a little bit more difficult for them to make sure that they're going to be able to open at least cast up barricades, because there is some mute jammers all around. Not quite sure how they open up the top one there next to Bibu. Must have been a grenade or something. Either way, the drones are coming in. The RC Retiros taking care of utility. Sleben himself is, of course, checking on that drone, seeing where he needs to guide his next drone before activating it. And they need to get that library control. It's so important for so many of these takes, and Hive is looking to just sneak in. That might actually be very successful.
Wow, took care of the Echo drone on the far side, but instantly had to pull away because he knows that that play is only as good as the secrecy that it's offered. They take out the lower level, make P4's hold here much more difficult. Rise saw the head of a body, but doesn't win the firefight. Sleben gets a very important take on the top floor, and he may be a little bit out of focus in camera, but his aim is sharp, as is the rest. Secret with another couple of bodies put down. Bieber and Cactus yet again. Two of the last players on this back line of Vitality trying to hold on against Secret, who have become so sharp in these gunfights and engagements.
Definitely so. 55 seconds left on the clock, and we might have Secret here on a match point. There we go! A flawless round to lead them in. And not just one, it's 6 rounds in a row so far for Secret. And surely we're going to get the tactical timeout now of Vitality to, well, at least try and salvage whatever is left, because they need 4 consecutive rounds now to stay in the running for the major. To stay in the running for a potential singular point. If they get that point, they put the initiative back on Na'Vi. But if Na'Vi equal it or better that score, they are going to be going to the 6th major. And that means they're trying to push for 2 points, but they currently fall behind. They had a great start to the game. The first 2 rounds were absolutely amazing. But Secret, after that team talk, was able to put up some great magic.
It's such a sort of devastating moment because you can see the energy in their play, you can see it in the cams, you can see the weight of this game and the effect it has on Secret, the effect it has on Vitality. Secret are in good energy, good stead. They had their team talk early, but since then, it's been smiles, it's been confidence, it's been a very well put together game, and it shows in the gunfights. And all of these players are exceptionally skilled. All of these players have that ability with a gunfight in these engagements, but not all of them have the experience when there's all this pressure. And that slight wobble, those extra milliseconds, hundreds of milliseconds, that might be put into your game by caution, by fear, and by panic, and by, oh, this is getting away from us. Wow, that's quite tough to try and get yourself sort of wrapped back around on.
What a composition are we seeing here from Vitality. We see the arcs coming out, we see the clash coming out, the smoke to make an appearance as well. Of course, you know, the Jaeger, the K, the smoke, all pretty default operators. You would say that the clash and the Oryx are considered a bit more of a niche pick, you could almost say, or more of a situational pick, that is. Oryx has the opportunity of just freely rotating up these hatches upwards, that is, and downwards as well, but just dropping through due to the ability that he has. Might give a little bit more verticality to Vitality. A little bit more freedom to play, and you see a lot of preparation being done here by them. Default plants are being opened up, the holes next to the breaches as well, and those are all being created to stop Secret from just breaching that wall. Just to put up a bit of pressure, that's all. Nothing more than that.
This is the only game that we were unanimous on in our predictions.
Yeah, that never goes well.
It never goes well. Why? I don't know why I didn't. Well, if I'd have gone for the other team, it might have been a different story, but then we're not unanimous. Then it sort of breaks the... If you're aware of the curse, can you break the curse? Either way, Vitality, they've had a team talk to see if they can at least bring themselves back in, cool down, calm off. They had 2 exceptional rounds very early on. They opened this game in the perfect manner. They know that they can take this team to task. They just have to try and recollect themselves. Because 6 rounds in a row, and it's a heck of a thread by Secret, and it's going to take a lot back, but there's at least a way it starts. That's the Lion gun, and in the confrontation here, you've taken out their IGL, you've done it for the trade of the Jaeger. It's a good blow.
It's definitely going to be a good blow, yeah. Managed to take out a bit of utility, whereas the Jaeger, of course, already pre-placed all of his. Now 1 minute 40 left on that clock. Vitality pretty far back actually in their approach. They're relying on the fact that probably the wall will be opened up and probably the push will be coming down at some point as the RCEs are being just pushed around the corner trying to get some extra information out. Secret also know they need to get rid of the Electro Claw. However, one of them is placed in a bit of a tricky situation, and that makes it so they don't have a direct angle into the safe space from the box side. They need to pick up the diffuser as well. So there's a couple of tasks they need to complete. And Sleben, well, back on the RCE, will be starting to attempt that. First of all, taking care of some of that barbed wire. Will be allowing them to push in a little bit quicker But still, Bibu will be there with the CCE shield, just being oppressive, making sure that Piano, not really an opportunity for them.
Now, they almost had the catch on that RCE drone that found its way through from the opposite side. They're still trying to find the claw from underneath. Got it, locked off, and that's a slip through. 40 seconds. We've seen late executes from Secret before. We might see it again. That was quite a touchy death there. Packball right on the doorway. Tried to get an early bit of glory there against P4, but obviously both bodies were dropped in unison on that swing. Bibu is doing everything he can to keep a handle on the momentum that's otherwise going to come across the top with Secret. Well, Hyph is going for a bit of a crouch walk round onto the back stairs. You assume that they have the attention paid. You assume that the camera was up there. Rise got the call, got the head, and got them dropped 10 seconds. They're going to try and slink their way through. Bibu's pushed back, but they still need to try and head down for 7 seconds. Plant the diffuser. Suddenly, it's all coming up. Secret just leaves. Bibu, they got a hold F. They do it. Team Secret.
They don't. They didn't plant.
I swear we saw the kill come up.
No, but the kill was still up. The clash was still up. The plant, however, was not being put down yet. I was going to say they're not planting. They're all still running around. Ace did the diffuser, picked it up, of course, and ran deep. Killed the Oryx, moved through deep into the side, probably to find an angle on the clash, because the clash was in a position where it could have gone for putting the shield on the back, maybe going for a hero. I'm not sure. But we're continuing for now. The dream is still alive. It's not dead yet.
I swear they got the drop on the clash.
They got a lot of damage down, but it didn't quite get the kill. The timer ran out right before they were able to get the final couple of shots in, and you saw the relief in Rise. Like, he was already with his hands in the air, and they realized that they still have an opportunity to make it to the 6th major. This should have been the end, ladies and gentlemen. This should have been Navi in Mexico.
I was watching the player swing from bedroom door, and I was like, they're the ones that's going for the fight with Clash. I mean, all right. It still goes on, but only just. Couldn't really cut it closer.
That, just an F button. That's all that needed to be pressed. We can ask Tim all about it. He knows it. He knows how to press that F button. He's a trained professional in it.
Trained professional.
Of course, they had to recover that diffuser. Keenan picks it up and hope to go quick. Now we have Vitality with a round basically gifted to them. They should have lost that. Even though it might not have it shouldn't have come that far. Again, that should have been a Vitality round to start off with, given the fact that time was on the essence. But again, taking these fights and Secret just rushing through, able to make it happen. This time, however, not planting that diffuser. Biggest mistake of the game so far.
That's like a moment where you see a 90th minute potential winner and it looks like it goes in, and then you see it go past the net. Like it hits the side of the net,
exactly.
And everyone in the crowd puts their arms up and then goes, oh. That was exceptionally close. And Vitality, they were gifted. They were gifted a bit of a breath there. They've got to see if they can take as much of that in their lungs and see if it can carry them to a second, potentially a third, and who knows from that point onwards. But it starts potentially here with a gift, and Secret, they're also well aware how close they were. They're going to make sure that they can sort of set themselves in. Packball's not throwing himself into the early engagements this time around. They're going to make sure that they can pop this open in a similar sort of fashion with a similar sort of pace.
Definitely so the pressure is on. Secret are aware of the mistake that was made before and are looking to rectify it as soon as they possibly can. They want to get the win. They want to get the 3 points. They want to make sure that they solidify a position for the next year in our Tier 1 competitive play. And well, they could have managed to pick up those 3 points, but there's still opportunity too. There's 3 more rounds to make sure that they will be picking up these points. And Vitality, well, they find themselves down inside a dining and kitchen now, a site where they were able to pick up the Vitality members earlier on. Again, that should have been a Vitality round. A team kill came through and maybe some too aggressive peaks, over-aggressive peak. Let's see if Secret is going to be able to repeat that recipe.
That was it. They were able to sort of build behind the punishment that happened. This time, Vitality haven't tried to stick in on the fights where they accidentally got the team kill before. They've pulled back. They've offered themselves some space. Hyph is opening angles, not trying to punish them for it, though, and misses out on the chance of potentially dropping Cactus there, who slips away. All the Vitality players have kept themselves alive. It's a bit of a change of pace to where previously on the site they were making sure that they were swinging into engagements before There it is. There's the pressure that they're trying to apply back. It's a C4 that gets the first there, and E1D battles back, almost takes care and just locks it off. Hive has really stepped into this fight here. The swing potentially on the close fire. It's Bibu that gets down by Hive for one more. Rise is keeping the minute with Cactus locked off on the stairs. Another pickup by Keenan, flooding their way down 20 seconds. 2 versus 2, and they're flooding their way across it. The diffuser is cold outside, and that was the limitation on them previously. Look at the wide holds that Vitality have. They've rotated off. They've pulled themselves far away. They're trying to throw themselves into the kills for this. The pings are consistent. They don't quite have the angles of the lockdown. There's a swing round from P4. He's going to hold off for a second, and Vitality have their second round in a row.
They got a second life gifted here, and they're making use of it now. They managed to get another round in, and now it's only 2 to that singular point. 2 rounds they need to win to have a potential at the 6th major. And to have a potential of potentially, there's a lot of potentials here. Making it a bit closer by picking up 2. Is Secret going to be able to lock this off, or was this a mental blow that has hit them in round number 9? That is the question we will wait to see answered, because Vitality, of course, they're still not there. They're still 2 rounds away from making it to OTs, 2 rounds away of making it into a possible 4th place. But if they do manage to make it, we can all pinpoint the fact, the round and the moment where it all went wrong for the side of Secret. Where if Vitality do manage to qualify, we can all pinpoint the exact round where they managed to secure it.
Wow, the sort of bad news here for Vitality is some of their big players haven't quite been able to dig in. You're looking at what is usually a very consistent fragging team of Bibu, Shinker, and P4, and they haven't quite been able to get the scratch in. Whereas at the same time, superpower player Sleben having a fantastic game, 11-3.
He does.
Gomfy as well. This was a sort of duo that, if anything was going to floor Secret on their previous days, was their inability to dig their way in. They're being sharp. They're sort of, consistently biting. It feels like a matter of time before Vitality lose this, and that's the worry right now, is Vitality are clinging to the seat of their pants and flying through these rounds and hoping they're not overwhelmed, and that's a dangerous position to be in.
Definitely is. It's Secret's game to lose, but it's Vitality's qualification to also be lost right here. Secret trying to take it a bit careful. Grenade will be tossed in. If it sails right over the corner, that is going to be able to pick up the kill. No, it just lands inside of the pantry. We'll be making sure that the kill's not confirmed. A second grenade will be tossed in, I believe. No, it's the drone that is now active. RCs will be used to try and take care of some of the caster barricades above, because, as I said, the library control is a key position on this side. As a nitro cell actually sailed out and dealt a lot of damage to Sleben.
In a way, that's a good bit of utility to not get a lock-off here, especially with the hold that's otherwise being put forward by Vitality. They still have this body on the back line. They still have all the top of the stairs as well. They're concerned about some pressure that might come from the opposite side, but we've seen them punish this hold, and Secret are trying to do the same thing. Hive crouch walking his way around the back stairs yet again. A consistent thorn in the side that has otherwise been able to at least bear fruit most of the rounds, most of the attempts here, and is drawing a bit of focus and attention away. But minute 30, Secret are still measuring everything up. They have been late to push previously anyway, and it seems like this round is just going to be another late push.
Gomfy just missing a shot there on the player on side of the top fireplace. Also, one of the RCEs missed a potential frost mat inside the library. So that means if one of these players is going to be jumping in, that could be a pog mat that strikes in a very crucial moment. A minute 10 on that clock, and it seems like they're about to enter. Packbull with the E1D looking to move and gets the entry kill onto Shinker. That is going to be a very big one.
That's a very big take. Drove his way up. There's Bibu getting one, but Gomfy gets one right back. Still with that back line of Cactus means that they have that loose control of the side, and the staircase gives them that extension, but look at the amount of time left. This is probably one of the earliest pushes that we've seen of Secret onto the site itself. It gives them these options, and in this man advantage situation, they're going to see if they can keep putting the pressure down. Bibu is slipping and slinking his way around just onto the door, but the yellow ping show the line's been able to slip past. They're still weighing up the control up above. They're still seeing if they can put the pressure in, and they're still going for these long angle fights, trying to isolate the man, but it's Rise from the top rope, drops down and goes to back up Cactus, who's under pressure. Gomfy with Rise gets the retake, 20 seconds left. Gumpy is slowly sneaking his way around on Fireplace. They know where the bodies are, but they can't get a handle on another round. We're on the seat of our pants flying through. There's Gumpy for the triple. They have one more body left to find, and it is this time settled. Secret. They stop the rise of Vitality. They send Na'Vi to the major. And they're having a pretty good day.
They definitely did, and there was an opportunity there for Vitality to climb back after round 9. They were gifted a second life, however, unfortunately, were not able to make it. It is Secret that is going to be able to take the win here. They take a very important 3 points.